Yeah. This is my moment to shine. This is my time for flight. I've been grinding forever just for this very night. I've been pushing for many moments like this. This time is undervalued and no one ever could miss. This is my chance, moment of bliss. My feelings so enchanted. Many could understand it. These skills out of the planet. Be careful, I'm out for landing. The future is mine. Taking it all by design. Knowing so much on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Perfectly Me podcast. I am your host, TJ Purcell, Mr. Purcell, People's Champ Purcell, PCP, your favorite person's favorite person. I am flying solo today. The topic that I'm talking about today, I have a feeling my wife would not want to be on this one, but have no fear. My wife and I will be coming back with our escape room tips, followed by our escape room reviews of some rooms here very soon. So just be on the lookout for that. But no, the topic that I wanted to do today, it is, I'm going to adjust this live because I am perfectly me. And this is what perfectly me is. We are live. Oh, that's much better. The topic I wanted to talk about today is it's something I'm gonna add some content, some new content, and I kind of got to thinking about it, and it's that time of year where the majority of my conversations stem around one topic: fantasy football. Yep, I'm one of them. Fantasy football. Definitely not a guru. That's kind of a lot. Not an expert. Fan. No, something. I enjoy playing fantasy football. So, in case you've been living under a rock and don't know what fantasy football is, simplest terms, you draft people to play on your team, and there's usually a set number of slots. So, like, for example, one quarterback, two receivers, two running backs, a tight end, a flex position, which could be a running back, a tight end, or a wide receiver, defense, kicker. And you draft people, and you can't just draft all the best people because there's other people drafting with you. So whether you're playing in a league, whether you're playing auction style, daily fantasy, prize picks, um, always gamble responsibly, by the way. If any of those, and the people you draft, you just win by their counting stats. You win by how well they perform, and whoever has the most points wins. It's a very simplistic term, very, very simplistic way of saying it, but it's just fun. It changes the way, for me personally, since I don't have a professional football team that I'm really caring for, it just changes the way that I view football. So when I watch football, NFL, because I like the sport of football, I was too short and not not that type of skill to play. But QB1 fantasy QB1 flag football. That's me. Uh, Offensive coordinator flag football. If you need a scheme to score some touchdowns in flag football, call your boy. But it just gives me a different way to watch football. My poor beautiful wife last year, she had to hear me. We want Diggs. Lots of Eckler. Let's go Hurts. Stuff like that. So it gives you a rooting interest. It gives you a vested interest in the games. And as we'll get to in the end of this recording today, There is nothing like a woe was me fantasy football story. We all have them. We all have where we lost by 80, where we lost by 5. We all have them by a tenth of a point. And so it's just, I don't know, it's just a way to just add conversation to people. But the background of fantasy football, I've already kind of talked a little bit longer than I wanted to on what is fantasy football. But background, I would say about 20 years ago, still in college, I got asked to join in a fantasy baseball league with some people from our baseball team. Miss you guys. Um, I know that falling out didn't happen great, but hey, miss you guys. That was fun. And we had the same group. Sorry, my co-host is hijacking the show. But we started with fantasy baseball, and then that rolled over into fantasy football, which then rolled over into fantasy basketball. And we would do that, 12, 13 years. And we've done every iteration of fantasy football: PPR, non PPR, IDPs. We've done dynasties, baseball dynasties. We've done a lot. It's just a fun, different way to just experience the sport. And so when I did that, I just really got into it and just really enjoyed the camaraderie. Uh, the best part, if anybody knows me, why I enjoy it, it's the trash talk. Nobody talks trash like your boy. So if people want that smoke, if people want to come at the king, you best not miss, because these you might be throwing chopsticks. I'm throwing grenades, and you don't want none. Stuff like that. So, and not to mention, they made a whole, although somewhat idiotic and hilarious, they made a whole TV show about fantasy football. Shout out to the league. Um, but I don't know. It's camaraderie. It's trash talk. It's um, just about people building. I like that, and you get to win money in some leagues, and so that's kind of why I love it. Now, my goal in doing this whole thing is to recap the last week, kind of talk about what went right, what went wrong, look ahead to my matchups for this week, not giving out any tips on how I'm working the waiver wire, but just kind of talk about what comes ahead, and then just kind of keep it moving from there. Talk about either a good bad beat story that I've had, or a terrible bad beat story that I've had. And then also, I just want you all to, if you have anything you want to add or respond, either let me know. This is going to be a weekly session, so I'll read them on the air. Just get in touch with me. But since there's nothing last week really to talk about, since this is a new segment, let's talk about last year. So I am currently in two leagues. One is a 12-man half point PPR, points per reception league, with my section from law school. I'll finish off with them because that section is fun. And then the other league I am in is with some friends of mine from softball who I got lucky to meet up with, and they allowed me to join the league. The thing about moving around a lot is it's hard to find like close knit leagues because everybody already kind of has their thing. And so there just happened to be some openings. I played softball with them. They allowed me in. And it's all fun times. I'm sure they're sick of hearing me talk about fantasy football on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but so to speak. So last year, my team, uh, it was not transfer portal. It was concussion protocol. So last year, my team concussion protocol in the softball league came in second to Josh Bruin. Well done. I should have won, but I got beat fair and square. He won. I came in second. Had a lot of good picks that just kind of fell to me, and I avoided the injury bug. But in the law school league, that's the league we're going to talk about because last year, um, you know, when there's only there's only one way to describe my performance from last year. The champ is here. The champ is here. That's right. Your reigning, defending, undisputed law firm of Bash, Block, and Blitz world champion, transfer portal, Mr. Purcell TJP. That's right. Your boy's the champ. I would like to thank Jalen Hurts for knowing he knew I drafted him, but I needed a big performance from him last year. I would like to thank Najee Harris because in the last 2 years, you've had 3 good games, and that was in last year's playoffs when I needed you. Appreciate you. I would like to thank TJ Hawkinson. I mean, let's be honest. We know you're great because the first name's TJ. So enough said. Um, all of them led me to a fantasy football championship, which at the draft this year debuted the lovely belt for the underlings to see as the champ made his appearance with this. Now, to be fair, this is a commemorative belt, so there's champs of all the years of existence. It just so happens to be that I'm the only one who commemorated this with the title. So transfer portal right here, transfer portal is not going away. Transfer portal is winning another one because that's what greatness is. Now, that was last year. Let's talk a little bit about this year, and then let's kind of conclude with where we stand last week and this week. I will start with the law school league right now. Your boy had some name changes. I was going to do the NIL collective. I was a fan of that one, but performance isn't there. So went back to what brought me to the dance. Transfer portal is what we're doing. So transfer portal, we are 3-2, kind of middle of the pack. My team's not doing so hot. Had some key injuries right now. Nick Chubb, great pick at the time. Get well soon. Although it does me no good now, but health and like wishing people the right thing. Guess that's what we're supposed to do. I don't know. Anyway, so last week, probably one of the worst losses I've ever had in fantasy football. My team put up a whopping 60 points. How? How could you get 60 points? I'll tell you how. Because this is the guide to lose in fantasy football. I just did this last week. You want to draft an injury ridden person? That's what I did. You want to play when you don't play said person, they score 25 on the bench. However, when you put trust and faith for them to enter your starting lineup and they give you 4 points and then now they're out for 8 weeks. Anthony Richardson. Yeah, thanks. Um Tony Pollard, 49ers just did with the shirt. 49ers did this to Dallas. And Tony Pollard, nothing. Kind of disappointment this year all the way too, Pollard. My other backs, I had drafted a lot of backs. They're all hurt. So none of them. I did pick up Puka. Shout out to Puka, because that's fun to say. Christian Watson, both leagues, hurt. Really? Um, anyway, my team's not great, and I could use your support. But this week, we have JP. And JP, you have receivers. I have receivers. May the best person win. Yeah. All right. So I'm taking the belt down because that is for this league. However, in the softball league that I'm in, not so much of a good year. Matter of fact, started off 0-4. Won last week. All right. This is serious when the sunglasses are coming off. Got some bones to pick with my draft picks. I wanted to draft a track team. Fast guys, zoom, zoom, roadrunners. Jamar Chase, do the gritty. 5 weeks to score a touchdown. Thanks. Jalen Waddle. Everybody on the Dolphins can score a touchdown. Besides you, until last week. Thanks. Who did I draft third? Who was? Oh, the biggest gripe I have. Okay, Dan Campbell. Why would you trade up to draft a Ferrari? Leave the car parked in the garage and throw the keys away. Why? Why would you do that? Jahmyr Gibbs, you traded up to draft him. Use that. I am in the middle of a soliloquy about Jahmyr Gibbs. Use that man. Why draft him if you're not going to use him? Let's see. Christian Watson, already mentioned. Be nice if knew you were hurt before the season. Wouldn't have drafted you. Would be nice if Jordan Love threw you the ball when you were actually past people instead of to the other people. That would help. Jerry Jeudy, Sean Payton hates you. Cool. Justin Fields, last 2 weeks, great. First 3 weeks, eesh. I have no tight end because my tight ends are terrible. I have no defense. Steelers didn't do much. Had to, have them hit the bricks. But I have changed my name. We went from transfer portal. Now we are a second half squad. Since I've changed the name, we've had team meetings, and now we won in dominating fashion. Thank you, Jamar Chase getting 52. And now we're on the upswing. So we'll see where that goes. And then for that, I play the person who I lost to last year. So Josh, I'm coming. Soliloquy over. Shades back on. Now we're good. Okay, so that's kind of a gist of what I want to do. I want to keep this right about 15, 20 minutes. I'm about at 18 right now. And so I just want to discuss fantasy football because I discuss it in everyday life. Why not discuss it on here for the people, for all of you? I would like to hear from all of you. If you do play fantasy football, leave a message in the comments, email me, thepurcellproject@gmail.com. Find me on Facebook, The Purcell Project, and just leave comments. Leave what your teams look like. Leave what waiver wires that you've gotten that you haven't gotten. I've really am team transfer portal because I've had to flip my rosters, both of them, and yeah. So love to hear your stories. Love to hear how great you did, how terrible you did, how many years you've been playing, a funny story, whatever you have. This is the podcast about giving back to the people. And we at the Purcell Project want to hear from the people. We can't serve the people if we don't hear from you. So, with all that being said, this closes this week. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, get in touch, all of that fun stuff. We will be back next week with more fantasy football talk, how I did last week, what's up to this week, and I'll address anything I hear in the comments. So, with that being said, appreciate you all. Check the links for. Thanks. Check the links for where you can get a hold of us. And until then, like, comment, share.